Hi, welcome back to the music class 10. I wanted to show you one more time signature that has survived for a long, long time. The common time and this one, the cut time signature, they've lasted for a lot longer. They came from this days back here. Well, we talked about common time, which had 4 quarter notes and 4 quarter rests. Pretty common. You can use everything that adds up to the value of that. But I forgot one. The 2-2 time, or cut time. 2-2 means that there are 2 beats per measure, and that the half rest and the half note gets the beat. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I forgot. Bar line. Okay, so we had to keep that bar line there. Notice that on the last video and this one, I drew bar lines, but we didn't have a staff. Well, it's okay. We can do those because drummers, they don't play pitch. Well, some percussion instruments, they play just straight pitches. So they'll have bar lines, but not a staff. Timpani players and mallet players, yeah, they'll have a staff. Little side note there. But anyway, here we are. 2-2 time. This equals this term, cut time. It's like the regular C with a slash through it, like it's been cut in half. 2 half notes, and everything that adds up to 2 half notes, which would be a whole note. 2 half rests, each one of those would get a beat, or you can use a whole rest. This is the same thing as the common time, but it's called cut time. This is faster or shorter. They would use this type of time signature for a march or something that's very quick, something that's got to move along pretty fast. And in some cases, it's a little bit easier to see depending on how many notes you're going to do and what the style is. I wanted to bring those two to focus because we have, I told you about common time. Now I'm telling you about cut time. Okay, I did promise about the dotted rhythms. Okay, so sometimes these notes here and these rests here are too long for what you're wanting to write. Or maybe they're too short for what you want to write. So we come up with this thing we call a dotted rhythm. I don't know how this really evolved. I could look it up for you and I'll maybe get some information for you the next time. But when you add a dot, here's the official definition. When you add a dot after a note, you increase the length of that note by half its value. Sounds straightforward. So let's do this. I'm going to put a dotted quarter note. Okay, now I know that this quarter note is worth 2/8 notes. Okay, so if I put a dot after it, this now equals these 2 quarter notes plus 2/8 notes plus half the value of this, which is another 1/8 note. So this now becomes worth 3/8 notes. Where did I get the third one? Because this dot increases the length of this note by half its value. Its value is 2/8 notes. I increase it by half its value, so I increase it by 1 more 1/8 note. Seem pretty straightforward? Let's try a quarter rest. If there's a dotted quarter rest, which sometimes is just perfect for the amount of silence you need, this is increasing the length of that rest by half its value. Half its value, okay. So a quarter rest is the same length as 2/8 rests, and when I put a dot after it, it now equals the same value or the same length as 3/8 rests. Where did I get the third 1/8 rest? Half the value of a quarter rest is an 1/8 note. I added another, did I say 1/8 note? 1/8 rest. I added another 1/8 rest. Okay, now I'm going to let you test yourself. How many counts would how many notes is a dotted half note worth, or a dotted half rest?
I believe that's a whole note, Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mrs. Potvin. So what do you think? How many counts or how many notes is a dotted half note worth? Or a dotted half rest? Well, let's think about it. I left the key here. I left kind of a cheat sheet. So a half note equals the same as 2 quarter notes. So half the value of a half note is a quarter note. So now this would equal 3 quarter notes. And that applies to this also. That would equal 3 quarter rests. That's called the dotted rhythm. D-O-T-T-E-D-R-H-Y-T-H-M. Correct? Correct. Okay. Dotted rhythm. We can have any note, any rest as a dotted rhythm. We can have a dotted whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th note, and by the way, I can keep going with 32nd note, 64th note. The same thing with a dotted whole rest, half rest, a dotted quarter rest, a dotted eighth rest, a dotted 16th rest, a dotted 32nd rest. I can go all the way down. So today we covered 2 topics, common time and cut time, and the dotted rhythm. We'll do some more clarification on our next time. And don't forget, you could always go back to the other classes that we have to review and catch up, or to review and kind of get it, and well, to learn more, to review basically, if you need any sort of references. And here we are. Hey, thanks. See you next time.